I'm trying a new method to flood my cookies today. Typically, I'd outline the cookie and fill it in using a piping bag. In that case, I would need to mix two different consistencies, one thicker one for the outline and then a thinner icing consistency for the flooding. It can be time consuming, but this new method uses one consistency and it saves me so much time and uses way less icing. I start by adding a little icing in the center of the cookie, then work it out towards the edges. So far, I noticed it gives you more control and spreads the icing super smooth. The brush really helps to leave a clean finish, and I find it's perfect if piping isn't your thing. Give it a try. This just might be your new go-to method too. Okay, time to dress this cookie up. She's had her flood, she's completely dry, and she's ready for the glam. First, I secure the template in this magnetic frame to stop it from moving around while I add the icing. Very important using this technique because you don't want it to smudge. Once I lay the stencil like it's her red carpet moment, I add a thick layer of royal icing, just enough to give her some attitude. Smooth it out, but I don't overthink it because then things can just totally go off the rail, right? And here's the reveal. Boom, texture, drama, and absolutely no piping stress. It's giving classy, it's giving cookie couture. Try it. You'll feel like a cookie designer in no time. Here's another example of me using the template to create a texture design on the cookie. Same method, I'm just using a different stencil, and this time the cookie's round, but I'm still trying to stay on the cookie, making sure not to spill over the sides and make sure it's all filled in. And do that because then at the end I don't have to do so much cleanup. Quickly, just wanted to show you how I cut my piping bag for outlining stencils. I make sure that the seam is straight up on the top, and then what I do is cut across the seam. I make sure that the hole is very small because if I need it bigger I can always go back in and do that, but I can't make it smaller once I cut it, obviously. So I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. And then all I do is continue to outline the stencil that I have onto a parchment paper. I got the number 75 because the set that I'm doing is for her 75th birthday, and I pipe these all out. I let them dry overnight, and then the next day I noticed that they're too small for my cookie. So here goes the learning experience, right? I've not done this before. I am not a professional. I just do these for family and friends for their events. And so I learn as I go. And this is a learning experience, but I'm not mad about it because I'll just keep them in a container for another project or just eat them on the side because technically they're candy. And who's going to tell on me, right? Finally, I find the size that I need, and so I go ahead and I do the same thing. I just make a stencil and I put parchment paper on top, and I'm just putting the icing on top of the parchment paper. I also found a W, which I think is fitting because the birthday girl's name is Wendy, and so I thought I'd do some fancy W, and I can do some of the cookies with the 75 on top. So I did the same thing by letting them dry, and then I'm just adding some icing onto the bottom of the numbers and letters and adding those to the cookies, and this is the outcome. Don't forget to like my video and comment if there's something you'd like to see me try. Okay, bye.